thanks to a lot of free time that I've had recently, I've actually managed to beat Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix. So I thought, what the hell? I might as well do a review of it before my life is slowly eaten away by Grand Theft Auto 5. And this has Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix, or however you say it, has been anticipated by me for a long time, especially when they finally announced they would be bundling one Chain of Memories and 358/2 Days into one nice, neat little package. I have been highly anticipating this game for so long because it's pretty obvious right now, I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I love this series, and seeing it in HD has been something I've been looking forward to since someone made a test version of Kingdom Hearts 2 HD on YouTube, and I've been looking forward to seeing all of that ever since. And it's finally here! And is it good? No. It is goddamn fucking amazing. This is a great, great package, a great value. So, let's dive right into it. No pun intended. So, if you guys, I'm not going to spoil anything big about Kingdom Hearts or Chain of Memories 358/2 Days. So if you're listening to this and you haven't played it, don't worry. No big spoilers. So, let me give a little refresher on what Kingdom Hearts is about. Kingdom Hearts is about a trio of friends named Sora, Riku, and Kairi, and they live on the Destiny Islands. It's basically a bunch of islands out in the middle of God knows where. And all three of them have this dream to leave Destiny Islands and go and explore new worlds. And one day, one night, they finally get way more than they bargained for when darkness swallows up their island and scatters the three friends across the universe, with Sora ending up in this place called Traverse Town, where he teams up with Donald and Goofy, who are looking for King Mickey Mouse himself. So they team up and they go to different various Disney worlds and have a wonderful adventure. Now, the first thing you'll notice about Kingdom Hearts HD Final Mix is that they have done one hell of a job with the remaster. This is a fantastic HD transfer. I mean, they have gone back and refined numerous details. The environments have more clarity and they have more pop to them, and they're much more colorful, and this really does look good as new. Even for a game that was not built on the PlayStation 3 hardware, it looks fantastic. I nearly forgot that it was a PlayStation 2 game. And of course, not only have the graphics been remastered, but this music has been remastered. And a lot of the newly remastered music sounds fantastic. Even if there are some inferior remasters, this is Yoko Shimomura. She can do no wrong. She is a brilliant composer. She makes music like no other composer does in the video game industry. This is some of her best work in this game. And, you know, the end credits version of Simple and Clean, still sounds just as good as ever. And the voice work is incredible. I mean, Haley Joel Osment, spectacular performance as Sora. Hayden Panettiere, even though her career right now is not that great, I'm reminded once again of her talent by her voice in Kairi, when she does a great job. David Gallagher as Riku, fantastic. Oh man, does he do a great job. And thankfully with this game, they went back and tweaked the gameplay quite a bit. And as a result, it's a much more fun experience. I mean, the dreadful camera controls from the original version have finally been fixed. The camera, instead of awkwardly controlling the camera with the R2, L2 shoulder buttons, it has been mapped to the right analog stick, and it feels great. It is a welcome, much welcome addition to the HD world for this series. And finally, I know a lot of people freaked the fuck out when they were like, oh, there's going to be reaction commands, it's going to be much easier. No. Reaction commands are only for opening chests, examining stuff, and activating trinities. And it feels great. And really, it feels a lot more like Kingdom Hearts 2. And since I've always been, I favored Kingdom Hearts 2 over the original. So I'm all the happier for it. But I still have a problem with the camera in this game, because when the camera is in a tight corner, it goes fucking nuts. I mean, it literally shakes around and moves switches angles so rapidly that you can't tell what the hell is going on, and it does that especially during the Neverland parts, when you're in the cabin of Captain Hook's ship. So I would stay away from that area if I were you, because it's a bad camera for that. And do not, please, I repeat, do not put this camera to auto mode. It is terrible. Please stick with manual. At least you'll have control over how much of a headache you get with those Neverland parts. And even with the great, amazing HD transfer, it's still unfortunate that they don't have full lip syncing in this, and especially during some of the more impactful scenes, they still have that bad lip sync moments where a character is just blankly staring and their mouth is just moving with no syncing of the voices at all. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry about that, someone was calling me. So, also, the platforming could have used some tweaking. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. It's a fine platforming. And another thing I realized about this game playing through it is that the story is as compelling and as emotional as ever. One of the most beautiful things about this game, and this series in general, storytelling in general, is that you forget that these characters, this world, and these events aren't real, but they feel real to you thanks to the fantastic writing and the emotion that this game emits. I mean, you could feel the love for this story on the screen, and it radiates with goodwill, and I love it so much. You feel as if you've been on the adventure alongside Sora, and whenever something bad happens to these characters on screen, I feel like something bad has happened to me. And it's just a really great story. And, the final image of this game still gets me every time. It's so beautiful. And another thing I realized about this is that this game is a great starter point for young gamers. I mean, it's got the children's stuff with Disney. It introduces kids to Final Fantasy. It's got a great message about the power of friendship that teaches kids to forego jealousy and anger, and just be happy and be thankful for what you have. And it also has a lot of dark content that will introduce kids to the more darker parts of this story, and it challenges young gamers without going overboard on the difficulty. So I think this alone is worth the price of $40 for this set. Just this final mix version. Really, I mean, I don't even need to talk about Chain of Memories or 358/2 Days. I'm going to, but I could just stop right here and say go and buy it, because really, it's totally worth it. But Chain of Memories, I gotta talk about Chain of Memories. I've always thought the story of Chain of Memories was inferior to 358/2 Days and Kingdom Hearts, but it's still a good story, and it's still really well told here. And of course, the HD remastering job they've done, it's fantastic. Fucking fantastic. So, also, the job that they've done with tweaking the gameplay, which I will admit, I am not a fan of the card-based gameplay. I just don't like it. I don't care for it. But they've also put in reaction commands for some attacks and special attacks and stuff like that, and it feels really cool. And of course, again, voice work, fantastic. A lot of my compliments I give to Chain of Memories is practically carried over from 1. So Chain of Memories is going to be brief for me. And of course, the score, again, amazing. The voice work, incredible. Graphics, amazing. You get the idea. Now, the most interesting addition and I'm not going to go on a rant about how, oh, I think having 358/2 days was a terrible idea. I already did that rant, and it doesn't really affect the quality of the product, but if you're someone that knows Kingdom Hearts inside and out, I'm going to talk about it from that perspective. Because if you don't know Kingdom Hearts inside and out, I would recommend buying this set, playing the first 2 games, but skipping over 358/2 days until I had gotten a copy of 2. Then I would go back and play 358/2 days. So, this is basically a side story, or an interquel. And it's an important story, but I think whoever put out that hype of this being a movie really was full of shit, because this is not a movie. It's more like it's basically theater mode, where it loads and they haven't remastered all of the cutscenes. There's a lot of text reading in this, where the events that they didn't put into cutscenes, they just have you read what happened, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of good moments. There's a lot of good interaction between the organization and Roxas for some good drama, but they don't have that in there. And another problem with it is that it could get kind of boring, even for me. It could get kind of boring at points when, especially if you're watching the full 2 hour and 50-minute thing, it could get feel really long, and a lot of it really is just sitting on a clock tower and eating ice cream and talking. I mean, I never realized that until this point, which I'm kind of glad that they cut out the campaign, because of all the campaigns besides Recoded, I think 358/2 days is the weakest of in the series. So even the cutscenes, without that in-between stuff with Roxas and the organization, it can get a little tedious. And it's still enjoyable, but it could have been done a lot better. And also, a huge problem I have with this cutscene theater mode idea. There are no climaxes to this. None of the big fight scenes in the game are shown in cutscene form. So basically, it's all build up, and then it's missing a climax. It's missing multiple climaxes, and then it's the resolution. So you really don't feel like all that sitting and watching and waiting really amounted to anything in terms of an action payoff or a fight scene. I mean, how cool would that have been if they had redone the 2 big fight scenes from the game at the end and shown that in like a cutscene cinematic movie form? That would have been fucking awesome. But unfortunately, they don't have it. So we're stuck with that. And and it's still a great story, and I still think Hayden Panettiere, again, I love this girl. Hayden Panettiere, great job at Gion, and it's a really sad story, really sad, tragic story, and I had forgotten how sad and tragic it was. I mean, I almost got a little misty-eyed at the end. And, yeah, and overall, this is a great package. It's an amazing value. You're paying $40 for 2 1/3 games, whereas like a lot of really mediocre or bad games these days come out full price retail value. This is $40 when Final Mix itself is worth at least $50. So you're getting a huge big ass discount with this package. And if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan and you own a PlayStation 3, it's a no-brainer. Go out and buy this. I mean, this is one of the best deals on the market right now. And especially if you're someone that doesn't know Kingdom Hearts and wants to buy this as a starter point for you so you can get into 3. Oh yeah, easily I would recommend this. I just wouldn't recommend playing watching 358/2 days. But Final Mix and Chain of Memories, definitely worth the purchase. And it didn't meet my expectations fully in terms of overall, But for final mix, especially, it surpassed them. I can't go back to the PlayStation 2 version anymore. I need my camera mapped to the right analog stick. And I need opening chest to be done with the reaction command triangle button. So, anyway, thanks for listening. If you like what you see, subscribe. And the next Kingdom Hearts video coming up is definitely going to be Project Astadi. I'm so looking forward to seeing what that's about. I'm like literally staring at the timer right now. Just, God, I can't wait. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys later.